All right, everybody, today's the day we get the propane tank installed by these guys. Now, I was talking to Ken, the guy that's actually doing the work. He's very knowledgeable, very confident. I'm very happy. The horns are honking. So yeah, I dropped it off. The bus is actually right there in the air, as you can see. They are putting the propane tank in as we speak, and it'll all be to code, so happy and safe for everyone. That's it. That's all I got. I'm not doing any work. I'm just kind of watching. So it's a lazy day for me. I mean, cut me some slack. It was my birthday yesterday, so relax. All right, let's keep this going. What we're doing for the propane tank, there's a nice empty hole right there. This will be our little gauge for the propane tank. I got to drill a hole, run the wires in through here. And I could put it there, but that would look really silly, wouldn't it? Yeah. And then here's all the backup monitor. Woo, fancy. If you haven't seen one of those a million times. And then the camera goes on the back of the bus. Ooh, fancy. And that's gonna go up in there. And there's more wires that we get to run. Hooray! I kind of forgot to hit record. But I'll show you how I installed the fuel gauge into the dashboard. It's simple, really. I took one of those hole saws, drilled a hole in the dashboard, wired the unit up, ran the wires into the dashboard, and just now I'm installing it. I'm just bolting it down from the back. So here's a good look. So just drilled a hole with a circular saw, put my wires together, the light, the ground, the send, and the ignition. And there's my gauge, and that goes in. Cram the wires in. La 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 la. Can't do it with one hand. We're figuring it out. Here. And that sits right there. Ta-da! Of course, I gotta turn it. Currently, the wires are just kind of coming out here, and they're labeled so I don't forget which one's which. And the wire is sitting there, so once my guy comes with the, what do you call that? The backup monitor, I'll probably tap into the ignition and the ground, and then the light gets wired up, and then the send wire will go all the way through here and down there, and underneath there to the propane tank, which is underneath. Well, as usual, I'm a little behind on the videos because I got stuck with getting stuff done. But what we're doing today is we are installing the backup camera system and wiring for the alarm system. And I'm here at, I forget his name of his company, but it's Ron, and I'll get you the name. I'll probably put it on the bottom somewhere. And so basically here's what we've done. Run some white wire there for the alarm system. We got the hole drilled here and the wire ready to go, and it's running along the entire bus, tacked under there with the, as you can see, the white wire is the alarm system, the black wire is the backup camera. Going along all through here, got it all wired up, big bunches of wire here, and then that's gonna go Ba-chow! Right there is gonna be the monitor. Ooh, look at the fancy monitor. And as you can probably tell, the beds had a few things added, like handles and whatnot. And I went shopping for flooring today, which was overwhelming. Picking out colors without being able to see it is very difficult for me. So, well, let's just see how today goes. Maybe I'll buy the flooring, maybe I won't. I did buy the sink. Can't remember if I told you guys that or not. Also, I'm gonna sit down for this because I did not do a video about this, and I want you guys to know the truth about how this is going. So, if you remember back to when I installed had my friend Phil install the propane tank, and then I had someone come in and tell me I can't mount it in that low, and I can't mount it like that. He sent me the government documents that stated he was correct, and I went to a certified propane tank installation place, which I did post earlier. Might even be in this video, who knows where these edits end up. And they were amazing, don't get me wrong. But let me just run some math for you. And now that I've calmed down, maybe this video will be a little more pleasant to watch. So I bought my tank, original tank, which was 15 inches in diameter by 55 inches long. It was a huge tank. And we welded brackets to the metal bars that came from the frame. I think you remember, I may have said this in the last video, or in a previous video. I went to AFS, I think it's called, I forget, whoever the professional mounting people were, and they were awesome guys. They did a phenomenal job. I bought my original tank for $1,680 after taxes. So, just to give you some information, the total install cost me $1,680 after taxes. Now, going to the new installation place, when all was said and done, they quoted me $2,500, including the install, and I thought, that's a little more than what I paid, but you know what? To get it done right, it's worth the extra, whatever it was, $1,700 plus. So yeah, it was like an extra $700. So I was like, ugh, not really in what I was thinking was fair, but you know what? To get them to do it and not have to think about it again is fantastic. When all was said and done, I got the bill, and it was $3,890 something dollars, almost $4,000. Now that was extremely painful. That was way more expensive than I expected. And the tank they gave me was 12 inches in diameter by 50 inches long. So substantially smaller tank. And it turns out that tank was $2,300 before taxes, as opposed to the $1,680 I paid after taxes for a much bigger tank. Then as I was talking to the guy that installed it, who did a fantastic job, by the way. He was amazing. I'm not complaining about the work they did. I looked under the bus, and he mounted it exactly the same way we had originally mounted it, which meant I didn't need to change the mounting style. Which I was like, okay, but at least I did all this because it was too low to the ground, didn't have enough ground clearance. Then I took a closer look at his mounting, and he lowered the tank by 2 and a bit inches, meaning I was at 15 inches. I had a 15-inch diameter tank, and I went to a 12-inch diameter tank. But after he lowered it, it was a 14-inch diameter tank, like the clearance, which means he saved me 1 inch. And then as I talked to him, he said, yeah, you were fine. If you had that, you had what tank? He was all impressed at how much I got that tank for. And that he said, that tank's fine. You would have had no problem. I would have absolutely certified that mount, because I showed him the brackets and they were on the other side of the bus. So all that to say is the lesson for me, because that whole situation between switching the tanks cost me a week of time because of the time it took to install and uninstall the original tank, plus the installation of the new tank. It cost me another what was it? $2,400 for a smaller tank at the end of the day. 2 weeks of time, or a week of time, and $2,400. All because I didn't go to a certified shop and ask their opinion first. I went to I had a few people tell me, and they showed me the documents on the government website and printed them out. So I'm like, okay, well, this must be real. So long story short, that was painful. So the lesson is, not just do your research. Do your research, double, triple, quadruple check before you spend any money. Although I was a little bit, the only disappointment I had with that shop was they quoted me $2,500 and it cost me 38 something. So that's the painful truth, everybody. Paid way too much for this propane tank at the end of the day now. And very sad that it's a smaller tank than I originally wanted. But it's just money. It's God's money. And I asked for forgiveness for not stewarding it well. And we move on because God will grant you that forgiveness if you ask him. So it's a new day, people. New day. Chin up. We got this. So we were working on wiring the backup camera and the fuel gauge for the propane. But Ron, Superman, did this. Check this out. Gauge. Check this out. What? Ron the man. I know it's been a while, but it's been a bit of a go session here because something's come up and I may have to take off for a bit, but painted the windows, some of the windows, put some insulation in, got some more insulation to put in, got the power doors open, working, got the backup camera in, got the alarm in. Now I've decided, with my help of my brother Dave, reimagining how this layout's going to work and how it can work. So I'm going to black out a few more windows. And because I forgot to show you that process, I will time lapse. Let's go! Hi. I forgot to tell you. First, you know how I put the silicone in to reseal the windows against the fridge. It's not a fridge, it's a window. Now I'm going on the inside and filling the gaps for the windows. I'm going to be walking out with Dynaflex. Dynaflex Ultra. Just putting it in the gaps here, just to ultra make sure no water is getting in this rust from the windows that are going to be behind the walls, because if they're behind the walls and they start to leak and I won't know until it's too late and the damage is already been caused, that would suck. Back to time lapse. So I forgot to hit record. I've been in a bit of a crunch with some things now, so I had to really just focus and get stuff done. Lots is happening. Sort of changed out the layout a little bit, just how many windows I'm keeping and I'm not keeping, and decided to black out 4 more windows, my bad, 4 more windows. And you'll see, I think I filmed part of the spray painting of the window black, and then I've been insulating the windows and I'm framing around the windows, and I'm about to put up a new wall. I'll show you. You'll see. It'll be fun. So first we black out the windows with paint. I used just a trim-clad flat black, and then we put on this reflective layer of insulation. I know it's reflective and it doesn't make any sense if the window's blacked out, but you're welcome. And then I'm putting in 1-inch foam insulation. I have started framing for the plywood to go on, and I'm about to slap in that piece of insulation, and then that whole wall is going to go on. Oh, hey, what are you doing here? I'm just, digging out all the silicone and resealing the entire bus. A friend of mine, Sean at Journey's RV in Langley there, gave me this fancy tool, which has been amazing to dig it out, scrape it out, without harming the bus and the paint. And yeah, I forgot to hit the record button again, so I apologize, but it's all done. The digging out, and half of the bus has been resealed, but I thought I would show you a little bit of my doing the other side. It seems silly, but I'm using, I don't even know, copper elastic. Bum, bum, bum. I have never heard of this, but my friend at Journey's RV, he highly recommended this stuff. It's got a 15-year warranty on it, all weather, and he said it's amazing. So, so far it's been good. It's pretty stinky, and you're not supposed to do it in direct sunlight, so under the shade of the shop, if you will. And that's what we're doing today. And then I'm also going to continue building the inside, but you'll see that in the video, so you're welcome.
There's nothing like LA, California, 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 California.
Well, once again, I forgot to turn the video camera on. But as you can see, my brother-in-law Lawrence is here helping me out, rock star that he is. And we are putting in the walls. Oh, there's walls, you say. Yes, I do say. It's been a trial. Some things I tried that totally failed. But we redeemed ourselves a little bit by using the jigsaw. Yeah, so walls. We're doing walls and stuff. It's starting to come together. I'm pretty excited. Silicone the heck out of these windows, man. I tell you, I have used probably 2 tubes of silicone per window. So just make sure you buy a lot of silicone if you're doing this. It's going to use way more than you think. Unless, of course, you don't care about sealing it as much as I do. I want it to be sealed as much as possible. So I'm already finding there's a couple little leaks where I took out lights, and the screw holes still have a little bit of a gap. So I got to silicone those up. And I forgot to silicone where I put the new lights. So there's that. But that's why we test things, and that's why I'm glad it's raining, but I'm not glad it's raining. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking, and it's time-lapse time! Woo! Well, all right, my friends. I have to apologize because this is a part of the bus build that I really wanted to film, because I couldn't find a film of anybody doing it anywhere, and it drove me bonkers. And that is, as you know, I'm putting up the walls. I'm going to put a wall this way, going up and down. And I had to, because of the shape of the bus, it's not square, it's not perfectly round. The floor is like this, and the wall kind of leans like this, and then it's bubbled. It's got all different levels and shapes, especially around the curve here. So I had to build a template, and I wanted to find a video of somebody building a template, and because I couldn't find one, I was going to make one. But alas, with the pressure of having to move on Friday, I went and did it and totally forgot until I was already finished to hit the video. But I will show you what I did. So for the wall, I measured from the ceiling to the floor, which was 77¼ inches. Wall to the outside edge, the biggest outside edge, which was exactly 2 feet. And then I got a piece of cardboard and I cut it out 2 feet wide by 77¼ inches tall. Then I shoved it into the spot where I wanted it, and I started to slowly chip away at the edge, trying to I taped it to the outside, I had a flat edge on the outside, so I taped it to that so it wouldn't move. And then I slowly started cutting. You could see the edges, so there's cuts out there. I just started at the bottom, cut it, kept rolling up, cut that out, kept rolling up, and I found that this whole edge needed to be trimmed off because the wall started to move in, and then more cuts for braces and stuff. And then I just kept rolling all the way up to the top, which gave me my rounded, semi-rounded, very strange edge. And as you can see, it kind of gradually goes up. Then I cut my board, my actual wood that's going to be used for the wall. That same 77¼ inches high by 2 feet wide. And I taped this, you can still see the tape on it. Taped this to the plywood. And then used the jigsaw. This here is my first attempt at trying to make it. Let's see how we do. So, as you can see, it's not going quite in there, and you can see the wood here is fraying, so it's too tight. So I am going to just draw a little bit of a marker, just so I know what to cut. Yeah, first try! Kind of. I have been bad at hitting record, but as you can see, we got the closet started. This fancy little section here is going to be the closet. The bed is done, pretty stoked. The bed is currently in the couch mode, but comes a queen size bed, right level with the bed, what do you call this thing, closet. This wall is getting done. It's halfway, well, it's more than halfway done. I just need one more sheet. And now I'm about to block in. This is going to be the shower. I'm going to put a wall here and a wall here to separate the closet and the shower. And the sink, bench. Anyway, that's the update. And that's how you make a template. Very annoyingly slow and painful. But that's what the wall is going to be. That's my template. I'll put that on the plywood now. I'll trace it out and I'll cut it. Note that I did not touch the bottom and I did not touch this line of wood. Those will be perfectly squared. It's just this stuff that needs to be carved out because the bust goes like this, as I've said before. So I'm gonna go cut some stuff and I'll be back in a sec. Well, hi, I'm up on the roof and I'm about to paint it. Well, I'm about to prime it with this bad boy, UMA Bonder adhesive. I heard it was good, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put this sucker on here. I heard it from a guy that does auto body repairs, and I also heard it from the paint company. So this is what I'm gonna do. So you're welcome to watch, or you can just skip through this time lapse because it's gonna be a while.
Southbound train, tripping on a tear in the autumn rain. Cold steel rails gonna guide her on a journey through the story of an eagle's song. Searching for a seat as the whistle cries, chill from the spill in her jaded eyes. Flirt in a skirt she refused to share, shame in a ring that she just won't wear. No more cheating, no more fighting, late night crying. If he doesn't treat you right, say goodbye, say goodbye. If he's got a lie,
got the bed, the closet, the shower, walls up, and this side, and this wall is up. Well, all right, today, well, among other things, I painted the top half of the outside. Now I'm going to paint, or prime, not paint, the inside, just to clean it up a little bit and see what I want to do. I think I'm just going to put an upholstery up there, but we'll see. But I want to paint it just to clean it up so I can see what I'm looking at. So there's that. And it also gives it a nice seal on the inside, in my opinion. If that's wrong, painters, you can yell at me below.
he don't know she ain't coming back. No more cheating, no more fighting, late night crying. If he doesn't treat you right, say goodbye, say goodbye. If he's got lying eyes, say goodbye, say goodbye. Call your mama, take a stand, leave 'em in the
Right. As with most time crunches, people get in a hurry and get a little frantic, and I may or may not have also gotten a little frantic in the last couple days, and today included, which has given me almost a full day setback on working on the bus, because if you notice, there's a big hole here. Maybe you can't tell, but I can, because I was trying to fix the window. Tried to readjust the seal that was around the window, and by trying to put it back in, I pushed too hard and broke it. So I spent the day trying to get a new window and a new seal. Now I have it, and I'm about to put it back in. Wish me luck. Well, today's been a very productive day. I woke up and my brother-in-law was outside, and somehow I was able to finagle him to help me today, finishing the painting. And then my brother woke up and he started working on the cupboard. So now I got all the help in the world, and all the things are happening today. Which is weird because now I feel like I'm just standing around while these guys are doing all the jobs. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with
This one's fine.
watching. But got to trim the windows a little more, make them a little more smooth and level. We're doing the upper shelving, cupboards. We're gonna go up there. Got the shelving all bolted in and glued in.
Start putting these in there.
Beds all in, and look, I got my custom-made foam mattress done the other day. Pretty excited. Also got the these are the hoses
Hoser.
for the propane, so that when I finally get the countertop done,
What we want to do.
and the furnace, and the hot water on demand, and the, what's the other thing? The stovetop. Then I just have to plug it in and go. Cut them in, plug them in, and go. So it's been very, very productive today. I did order a Furion cooktop, and it came in, but they bent the corner, which I think I mentioned in another video, and I sent it back, and now they don't have any more, so they only refunded me the money, and they're not going to send me another one, which is fine because I have to hit the road tomorrow, so there's no time. I'm going to go do some driving, feeling called to do some driving, and maybe I'll build more on the road if I can find tools and a place to do that. But that's sort of the update today. I apologize for not keeping you up to date. The vehicle was also in the shop getting maintenance done on the motors and the serpentine belt replaced and just little things like that to make sure it's tip top for the road. So I'm going to let these guys do more work. I'm going to think about getting some sandwiches to eat because I'm hungry.
Staring at the stars from the high school yard, we carved our names and I laid on the charm all summer long.
Well, it's the second day and last day before we hit the road. It's go time. We are building the kitchen cabinets. We built the cupboards. We're going to put flooring where the driver's floor is, the metal part. And we're also going to be putting flooring all in the things. So once that's done, it's time to hit the road. Oh, and the countertop. We're also going to do the countertop. Once that's all done, it's time to go. Time to hit the road and build the rest as I go. And the only thing from there is the ceiling, as you can see, and the power and the water. We've already got the piping for the propane, so I'm excited about that. That'll be easy to do once I get the appliances. And that's where we're at today. So I may remember to hit time lapse, and I may forget. So forgive me if I'm well. As per usual, I have screwed up by forgetting to hit record. So the big reveal is a little bit wasted, but you can at least see this big reveal. Oh! We're rolling out the floor. So now I'll do the time lapse while we cut it out and make it all pretty. Floor. Who doesn't like floor? Well, it is 5 a.m. and here's the update. There were a lot of opportunities in the last few weeks for me to go to Tennessee, park the bus and do some things. And just the other day, those situations got changed. And yet, I found myself still led to go. And in the last 2 days, me, my brother Dave, and my brother-in-law Lawrence kicked it into high gear, and we got so much done on the bus that I can't deny that it was God guiding me to get on the road. So here's what the plan is now. I have no home, I have no job, because I moved out with this new opportunity, and I quit the job I was doing so that I could take this new opportunity, and those both shut down. So I have no home, I have no job, but I do have this bus, and I do have the Lord, and my brother's still coming. So we're going to hit the road, and we are going to offer in-house concerts with his music, my music, and some cover songs. And if you feel like supporting us, you can donate to the Prayer Walk Ministries at givesendgo.com. The link is attached. So we look forward to seeing you, and we look forward to where the Lord is leading. And let me show you the bus.
Dear God, if you can hear me, I'd love to get a good night's sleep and wake with a lust for life.
Now we know it's not finished, but it is finished enough to live in and serve in for the moment until it gets completed. All right, well, it's been a while, and I apologize. It's just because I keep forgetting to hit record, but I'm working on the counter, putting in the sink. I'm going to seal the windows a little bit because there's a little gap between the plywood and the windows. And then we're going to build a little step thing to go over the stairs so that the person sitting in the passenger seat can have a place to put their feet without falling in the stairs. And we're doing wood filler on the screw heads to make the walls smoother and stuff and things. But here's the sink. Isn't it pretty? It's so pretty. Wouldn't you like a sink like that? Well, you can't have one. That's mine. It's it. Get your own sink. Well, we got the sink in, and we're starting to cut around the foam so that I can put a nice solid trim on there. But there's the sink. La la la. Turned out pretty good, I think. Still have to do the cupboard doors, but that's not bad. But yep, the foam is hardening. So now I'm just cutting the excess foam off so I have a clean edge to put my trim. I just wanted to make sure that the memory foam is good, or not the memory foam, the expanding foam is good because it firms up so that there's less wobble. It seals it off so that there's better insulation, and I don't know, it just makes for a cleaner edge for me. So that's why I'm doing it. Anyway, back to work. All right, for those of you who have been following along, I have been on the road and had to do the work on the road. I'm currently building a platform for the stairs because when you're driving down the road, first of all, the passenger seat doesn't have a place to put, the passenger doesn't have a place to put their feet while they're sitting down. And I figure I put that sucker down there and it'll also lower the road noise volume. So that platform is gonna go in the entrance to the bus right here. And what it's going to allow is the person sitting in this seat to put their feet down and have a level platform here for their feet. And then it'll stick out to about here and keep the road noise down and keep the weather out and the sound, and that'll be great. Also, found some leaks. So I had to seal this again. Had a leak up here, coming out here. As you can see, it's a little bit rusty now. So I had to seal this cylinder here. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a cylinder here. And at the bottom, they didn't weld it all the way around. So there was a gap in the weather. The rain was coming in and then gathering under here and then dripping all over the place. I had another leak on the back window, which you can't see because the mattress is there. The back window was leaking at the bottom corners, and I found out that that was because the drains got plugged. So that was an easy fix, thank the Lord. Also have been filling the screw holes. As you can see, you can't really see the screw holes anymore, with wood filler, and sanded those off. And then what we're gonna do, what we're working on now is, because the sink is here, I'm gonna build a cabinet up here just like this one, so that I have a place above the sink to put spices and just soap and things like that. I think that was all for today, because then I'm gonna go meet some friends. Bye!